Hi there! You're watching the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the studio, and we're going to do a project that I've never done before, and I'm really excited because I've been wanting to do this for years, and I've just not really had the setup or the patience to learn a new craft, and I'm ready for it. So we are going to grow mushrooms. No, not the medicinal psychedelics, but gourmet mushrooms. And they have to be grown in the house because they want like 70-degree weather or 70 degrees to grow. So they'll be growing in my studio here because it's the warmest space in the house. And yeah, I'm excited about it. So I ordered my mushroom kit from, I actually ordered it from Territorial, which is a localish seed company in Oregon. And then they sent me mushroom kits from Cascadia Mushroom, which is actually out of Bellingham, Washington, which is still at least in the Pacific Northwest and not that far away from me. I have not opened them up yet. It's recommended that you open them up and get them started within the week. And we received these just a couple of days ago, so I'm anxious to get them opened. They're very well sealed. There's tape on every single place there could possibly be tape. Great. Lovely. So there's a mushroom growing kit inside here and some instructions, care and watering instructions. So I chose to buy shiitake mushrooms to begin with. They are supposedly one of the easiest mushrooms to start off with, so that's why I started with those. Plus they're absolutely delicious. And I only got one kit because, one, I don't know how to grow them yet, and I want to experiment with it. And two, Spencer doesn't like to eat mushrooms, so I'll be eating all the mushrooms. And I'll also be learning how to dry the mushrooms and preserve them in whatever way that I need to. So, this basically just tells you what their website says. So I've already read all about how to create a grow space for the mushrooms. And it looks like there's even a QR code on here that you could look it up that way too, which is kind of fun. And this is just a packing slip. So what the website recommends that you do is you have a clear or opaque tote. And I went with this size, which I don't remember what size this is, because it would hold 2 kits eventually. Once I'm ready to get that far, and it's fine that it's a little too big for my one kit. It won't bother how the mushroom grows. So what we want to do is we want to create a bunch of air holes in the entire kit on the lid and on all 4 sides of the tote. So what they say to do is mark every 2 inches in a grid, 4 inches above the bottom. So what we're going to do is put a 4-inch layer of perlite on the bottom, and then we'll start our air holes, and then all the air holes on the top. And then we'll put the mushrooms, or the mushroom kit, whatever it is, spores, in the perlite. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark off this tote, and then Spencer can drill the holes for me. We're going to use a 1/4-inch drill bit as per recommended, and yeah, so let's just do that. We're going to just go ahead and measure that off. I will show you really quick. It just comes in a plastic bag like this, and we'll open that up together in just a few minutes. Right. So so I can see every 2 inches. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use some tape and mark off every 2 inches this direction, and then we'll use a Sharpie and mark each 2-inch space that we're going to drill. And the reason I'm going to use tape is to help, to hopefully help not crack the plastic, right? And then we'll also put a board underneath it to support the plastic so it doesn't crack. So let's start with the tape.
I'm drilling into this, not the desk, just so you know. I can see now. What did you do to this? "81 holes. 81 holes."
Wow, that's a lot of holes.
That's a lot of holes.
That's just the lid.
I know.
Oh wait. Alright, well that was quite tedious. Thank goodness for Spencer and his patience, because he did 99% of this. I think I drilled like 5. So, yeah, lots of holes. This lid had 81 holes. I don't know how many are on here, but we're going to take the tape off and kind of make sure that there's no plastic bits and pieces in there before we get started on the mushroom kit. Can certainly like come through with a sandpaper if you felt like you needed to. I think that's as necessary. Just gonna take any of the like big chunks that I can grab with my fingers. Sweet. There are other ways that you can do this with like a plastic bag and make like a tent over where you're planting the mushroom. I just figure I may as well fully commit so that if I decide I love it, this is already done, right? And if I decide I hate it, then I can use this holy tote for storing dahlias or something in the future. Okay. And same with this. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a bag of perlite down there. So I've got my perlite here. All right, and then we pre-moisten the perlite with some distilled water. I don't have actual distilled water from like the store or something. This water has been sitting in this watering can for 2 days. So all of, that's just how you naturally distill water. And so it doesn't have to be soaking wet, it just needs to have some moisture in there. And just sort of get that moisture all in there. All right, now we get to do the mushrooms. So, let me see what it says. Well, it doesn't really say how to tell which way is up, but it kind of looks like there might be mushrooms growing already, so it might be easy to tell. Put this down to make a huge mess. So the mushroom spores are inside of this hardwood sawdust. Easier to just cut this off. Definitely some mushrooms growing in there already. How do you know which way is up or down? I don't know. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna put the side that has the least amount. This one has a lot. The sides have quite a bit. The bottom only has a couple, so just gonna set it down in there like that, I guess. It says that this would be like 2. I guess I should put it like this way. It's not sharing anything, I'm just gonna set it like that. Kind of bizarre. Alright, and then have distilled water in here. And so I'm supposed to just like spray the sides and not directly on the mushrooms. And of course the perlite. And you do that every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It's interesting because, the water comes through, so you have to be careful of where you're going to place this thing. And then that creates a good amount of humidity in there, but but then there's air holes so that you don't end up growing any mold. And they say we'll be harvesting within a week. And I believe that because there's already mushrooms growing in there. We're going to set this in bright indirect light, so no sun's going to be shining directly on it. It doesn't want to be near any drafts, but it doesn't want to be near any heat. It's quite picky. So I was going to put it over my window over there, but I think I'm going to switch things around. I'm going to move my Monstera over by that window, and I'm going to leave this kit over here because that window is a little bit more drafty and it's closer to the heat source. So, and I stand back here, I don't feel any drafts, so I think right here is going to be a good space for it. Okay. And it'll be really easy for me to just take care of it because I over here all the time. I don't know. Really interesting project. Obviously, planting the mushrooms took me 2 seconds. It was the setup of drilling all the holes, right? So now that that setup is in place, anytime I buy a mushroom kit, I could just put a fresh bag of perlite in there and set my kits, 1 or 2 kits in this container and let them grow. And then I will, I'll probably share on Instagram and maybe a YouTube Shorts how I harvest them when that happens. And, you know, we'll have discussions and see how they do. I'm kind of excited about it. I've never grown mushrooms on purpose before. We have mushrooms growing all over our garden, but I don't know what they are, so I'm not eating them. And, you know, living in Oregon, we have dozens of types of mushrooms, and I can't turn my head without meeting somebody who either hunts mushrooms, you know, they go hiking and they harvest mushrooms in the wild, they or even they belong to the Mycology Society, and just 2 cities away, like 20 minutes from my house, is like a huge mushroom festival that they have every year in Yachats. And so obviously there's many shroom heads around here, and I've always been kind of afraid of growing them. I don't want to grow them outside because I don't want to get them mixed up with any kind of poisonous or magical mushroom and, you know, put that in my omelet. So this feels a lot safer buying the mushroom kit from a reputable source and doing it inside of my home where everything is like sterile and I know exactly what it is and there's only one kind of mushroom and I don't have any confusion. I would love to try growing some outside on hardwood in like a controlled environment so I know exactly what's there. And I might try that later in the year and see how it goes. But first we're going to do the super easy way and see what happens here. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're celebrating your life, and I will see you on the next one. Make sure that you're liking and subscribing to this channel so that you get notified every time I post a new video, which is almost every single day. And you'll be able to have updates on these crazy, fun projects that I'm trying out this winter. See you later. Bye.